Mother Earth has provided us with the resources to enable us to reverse some of the disastrous effects the burning of fossil fuels has had on our globe. We have solutions to the problems we have created and answers to the questions that have not presented themselves. How to find an alternative energy source before we exhaust our supplies, or worse, exhaust our planet. This documentary introduces Scotland's role in leading the world with new technologies and aims to provide background knowledge on the global potential of wave energy resources, as well as highlighting the environmental impacts. Any coast where the wave strength is over 25 kilowatts per metre has the potential for wave energy generation. In the Pacific Northwest alone, wave energy could potentially produce 40 to 70 kilowatts per metre of western coastline, and the west coast of the US is more than 1,000 miles long. Potentially rich coasts include the USA and South American western seaboards, South Africa, Australia, parts of Malaysia, Japan, New Zealand, and the western-facing coasts of Europe. Clearly demonstrated on this diagram of potential wave sites: Scotland, England, Japan, Australia, Spain, New Jersey, Hawaii, and Oregon. The World Energy Council has estimated the useful global ocean wave energy resource of 2 terawatts, that is, 17,500 terawatt hours per year. Such generating capacity could result in up to 2 billion tonnes of CO2 emissions being displaced from fossil fuel generation per year. That's similar to the current emissions from electricity generation in the US. One of the countries leading this wave development is Scotland.
Well, it's a great announcement today. It's the realisation of something we thought was going to take a few years, but we've managed to crystallise it, accelerate it forward, because this is the world's largest announcement of deployment commercially of wave and tidal devices ever. This is a world-leading announcement, and truly in the best waters in the world.
So who are the main players leading the way in the wave energy sector?
A great combination of companies. You've got the big power companies. You've got Scottish and Southern, Scottish Power, our own Scottish headquartered companies. Then you've got E.ON moving in, another huge world-scale power company. And you've also got that salting of the development companies, many of them Scottish-based, Aquamarine, Palamas. These are companies which have been leading the way in grid-connected devices at experimental and innovation level, and now they are part of a deployment round of serious power of a serious scale, because what's been announced today could power a quarter of Scotland's needs on its own, just from wave and tidal.
So where are these sites, and what sets Scotland and Orkney apart from the rest of the world?
We've installed Oyster here at Orkney for 2 reasons. The first reason is that here in Orkney you have the European Marine Energy Centre, and that's a facility which is specifically designed for companies like ours to help us actually test the device. The second reason we're in Orkney is clearly because it is extremely wavy here, and if we're going to test a wave energy device, we want to be able to test it and pit it against the best waves in the whole of Europe.
It's a fantastic resource, we know that, and it's a great opportunity for us. What we're looking at here now is a Scottish company based just here in Leith Docks, working up at the European Marine Energy Centre up in the Orkney, accessing some of the best resource, not just in the country but in the world. So we've got a fantastic opportunity there.
EMEC is the only wave and tidal testing site in the world. We currently have 5 grid-connected cables on the wave testing site and 1 high-pressure pipeline, and we have 7 grid-connected cables for devices at ED on the tidal test site. We sell all of the electricity generated, and we then give that money back from the electricity sold to any of the developers that are on site. we have a dedicated project team and consenting team in order to lead the developer through the quagmire that is known as the consenting process.
EMEC is unique to Scotland. Can this be replicated elsewhere in the world?
Yes. What you've got to think about is where is the resource, and that is the first thing. And then you've got to look at how much money is going to be fed into the organisation and the test centre that's going to be developed. At present, EMEC is providing a certain amount of consultancy to a number of different countries, and we're actively involved with the NIMREC test site in Oregon, which is for a mobile test berth, which is going to test wave devices. And there's also in Washington State, there's going to be a university-led test centre there for tidal. On the east coast of America, they're also looking at ocean current and tidal. In Taiwan, Korea, China, the universities there are setting up various tidal and wave test sites as well. So not only, we will not be the only one for a long while.